Hi everyone, my name is Justin Hahn. This is my Module 1 Me in Action research presentation for AEP 803. To start off, I'm going to share a little bit about my educational journey. I graduated in 2016 with my bachelor's in elementary education with an emphasis in mathematics. Right after graduating from K-State, I moved to Las Vegas, Nevada, where I started my teaching career working for the Clark County School District. I taught in Las Vegas fifth grade and a double accelerated math course. As a result of COVID, though, I did decide to move back to Kansas to be closer to family, and I started teaching in the Derby School District where I started teaching third grade. And this year, I started my first year serving as an instructional coach at an elementary school called El Paso Elementary. Here are a few of my interests and hobbies. I'll start by just talking about my family is the most important thing to me. Like I said, I moved back to Kansas because of them. I also have two bulldogs. This one on the left, this is my Gus, and this is the oldest Otis. I also love traveling, exploring the world. This is a picture of my fiance and I on Mount Charleston in Las Vegas with our two boys. Again, I love being a teacher. I kind of miss being in the classroom right now. I love what I'm doing, but definitely being in the classroom was something super fun that I enjoyed and love to do. I also am a love for learning. So this whole class that we just started, this module, I really enjoyed talking about action research. These are a picture of my teammates from last year, but this just represents me loving collaborating, being a team player, working with other people. And then, like I said, I love traveling. And then something else that I enjoy to do in my free time is cooking and baking. So now we'll dive in and talk about the action research and the critical reflection on that. So, what is action research? The purpose of it is to improve and refine our craft as teachers. I love that the article said, as educators, we are really a part of the action research process daily, just in what we do. There's four types of action research: individual teacher research, collaborative action research, and school wide action research. Each one has a different purpose, and when we decide which type of action research we want to take part in, we just need to be mindful about what our end goal is. And then, like, really talking about the goal of action research is to investigate areas of concerns and meet those challenges within our classrooms and schools. So in our teaching and our practices, if we notice an area where we could see an opportunity for growth, um, investigate that, test out different methods or practices, and see if we notice a difference. And then there's really four main phases to action research. First is the planning phase, where we decide and determine a question, something that we want to research, and then we go in and create a plan of action to see how are we going to test out this question or test out this theory. Next, we go into action, where we're actually doing the research itself in the classroom, and we're collecting data during that. Most of the time, the data that we collect during action research is qualitative data and not quantitative. So it's the experiences that we use as our data. Next, we analyze that and we reflect on the data that we got. And if we notice that we're not seeing the results that we want, then we go back and we try again and see if maybe a different approach will lend itself differently. And then after we figured out and we've determined that what method works the best, then we share our results in the conclusion. The difference between traditional research and action research is the focus on action research is to improve our educational practices. Um, and then we generally generate our research questions from our experiences. So after teaching, we have experienced certain things in the classroom, and then that's where we generate our questions from. So maybe you notice your morning meetings aren't running like they should. So you might generate the question of, how can I make my morning meetings more engaging, or how can I incorporate SEL more into my morning meetings? And then we can go about testing out different theories that we may have. Another difference is that we're directly involved in action research and we're participants in it. We are not only um, doing the research itself, but we're also participants in the research as well. And then, like I mentioned before, we use our qualitative data to adjust our practices. It's not necessarily just relying on quantitative, we also rely a lot on qualitative. And then the research is typically not generalized. So I talk about it in my reflection, but each year we have a new group of students where our methods that we used the year before may not necessarily work so well with this new group of students because they bring in new and unique needs. Common problems associated with action research involve a lack of time for professional development opportunities, funding to support action research efforts, maybe pushback from colleagues and coworkers who may not feel comfortable. Just already the heavy workloads that teachers are already dealt with. Many are involved in committees outside of the classrooms or just extra responsibilities, and then just the misconceptions of what action research maybe is. Maybe they believe that it's a lot of reading and a lot of writing papers, but like I already said, we take part in the action research process daily. Just knowing what that process is though, and then making sure that we're doing all parts of it. How could action research help improve our teaching? Well, it aids us in reflecting on our teaching practices. Not only that, but it also provides an opportunity to model problem solving for our students. We're able to engage in effective use of data to guide instruction and teaching. It fosters a culture of inquiry within the school of how can we become better. And then it provides an opportunity for us to collaborate, which we know has a high impact on teachers and student learning. Here's a critique of my own personal and professional thoughts on action research. So, action research is something that I take part in every day as an educator. I do believe in always being able to improve and become better at teaching. Each year, we are presented with a new group of students who have unique needs. It would be wrong for me to expect what I did or used last year would work for the group of students that I have. Through trial and error, I test out strategies, resources, and practices to see what works best for my students. I take part in collaboration, attend professional development opportunities, and analyze data to draw conclusions. From my own experiences, I don't believe that I've had any opportunities for a school wide action research project. We have in past schools, we've implemented different initiatives, but I don't think we've ever truly followed the action research process. And I do believe that it lends itself perfectly to student equitability because it has the mindset of continual improvement for all students. So if we notice one group of students maybe not being met or their needs might not being met, we can again go through the action research project process to see what can we do to support all students and make all students learning experience is the best that they could possibly be. Here is my standard correlation, my relevancy statement, and then another reflection. I'll let you pause this to read this. Um, and then I also included my references here. Thank you for watching my presentation.